everybody, welcome back to Cliff's Picks. I am Jess. I am one of the biologists that are currently with our African penguins. We do have a couple of them that are very interested in this week's book of Cliff's Picks. It is called Double Bubbles. So let's get started because you can see everybody is very excited. It was a perfect day to play hide and seek. Ripple searched the reef for her friends. At last she spotted one. "Gotcha, Bubbles," she shouted. When the fish swam out of her hiding spot, Ripple was surprised. Bubbles was not her usual pink color. She was green. "Who's Bubbles?" asked Bubbles. Ripple thought Bubbles' voice sounded different too. She's not only had Bubbles turn green and changed her voice, but she didn't even know her own name. Ripple darted off to find Splash and Dunk. "It's Bubbles," she said. "She's different. She's acting all weird and green." "How do you even act green?" asked Dunk. Not everyone was confused. Suddenly, Bubbles popped out from a hiding spot. "Here I am," she said. She was pink. It was Bubbles, all right. "This doesn't make any sense," said Ripple. "If Bubbles is here, then who's the other fish?" Swish! A green fish swam up. "Do you mean me?" she asked. "I'm Finny." "Wow, Bubbles and Finny sure do look alike." "See, guys," shouted Ripple. "I was right. There are two Bubbles." "Excuse me, but there's only one of me," said Bubbles. "And I'm the only one of me," said Finny. "You guys do have a lot in common," said Splash. "They both had long tails and fancy fins. They both made slime to protect their skin. That's because they're both Mandarin dragonettes," said Finny. "Wow, we are a lot alike," said Bubbles. "You want to play with us?" "I'd love to," said Finny. Finny played finball with the gang. She was a natural, almost as good as Bubbles. Next, they visited the mud pit. "This mud puddle looks fantastic," Finny said. "Finny loves glop and gloop as much as you do, Bubbles," Splash said. "It must be so great having a friend just like you." Bubbles should have been thrilled. She found a fish who liked finball and mud as much as she did. And her friends really liked Finny too, but for some reason, Bubbles felt sad. After a while, Ripple swam up and noticed that Bubbles looked unhappy. "Something wrong?" asked Ripple. "It's kind of, Finny," answered Bubbles. "You don't like Finny?" Ripple asked. "I do, but she's just like me," said Bubbles. "Now that there's a brand new Bubbles, why does anybody need me anymore?" "But there can't be a new Bubbles," said Ripple. Ripple told Bubbles that even though her 499 brothers looked alike, each brother was special. Now, 342 told great stories. Number 96 maybe the silliest faces. Number 77 always slept next to Ripple. So even though Finny and I looked alike on the outside, it doesn't mean that we're the same on the inside. Bubbles said with a smile. "Of course not," said Ripples. "You're our Bubbles." I bet Finny could use a friend just like Bubbles. Being the new Mandarin Dragonette in Reef Town, Bubbles felt better. When she played Capture the Shell, Bubbles and Finny were teammates. They found more shells than Splash and Dunk. Bubbles had made a fabulous new friend. It was too bad Finny was only visiting Reef Town. She and her family were leaving soon for their home reef. "I hope you'll come back and visit," said Finny. "Definitely," said Bubbles. "Come on, how about one last dip in the mud pit?" "Thought you never asked," said Finny. "Let's go." Yuck, ucky, slime, grimy. They dove into Splash and rolled around until they were both covered in mud. Maybe they splashed a little too much. Bubbles and Finny got so muddy that their friends couldn't tell them apart. It's okay, we can, said Bubbles. They were alike but different too, and that's the perfect way for friends to be. The end. So did you guys like that story? I thought it was great. It had two people that looked the same, or two fish I should say, looked the same, but they were also very different. So that makes great friends. So definitely comment below and let us know if you like that story and other things that you want to hear from us here at Adventure Aquarium. Once again, my name is Jess, and come back and definitely check out our social media posts here at Adventure Aquarium online through our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards, and we do hope to see you very soon. Stay inside and stay safe.